Hello. Would you like to leave a legacy for future generations? Do you want to save federal taxes year after year, generation after generation? Do you want to know the secret of the very rich people? It's tax season right now, and I want to teach as many U.S. business owners, U.S. 1099 income earners, and also U.S. investors save as much money as possible. So few people have ever heard of the Spendthrift Trust. It's legal, it's copywritten, it's in the IRS Tax Code 643B. It's as legal can be. My name is Sally Gimmon, and I am the owner of thetrustisyou.com, and I want to help as many U.S. business owners, U.S. 1099 income earners, and U.S. investors save federal taxes. Now, to give you a bit of history, this comes from England way back when King Henry VIII started the Church of England. The famous king who chopped off his wives' heads, he got in trouble for doing that, and he started the Church of England. It is contract law that came to the United States while we were still part of the colony of the UK. The law firm I work on behalf of inherited a trust that turned 350 years old in 2023. For 3.5 decades, a family has been saving taxes. Our current tax code went into effect February of 1913, 111 years ago. It was only supposed to be around for a few years. The super rich families of that time, the DuPonts, the Carnegies, the Kennedys, and the Rockefellers, made sure they could save taxes year after year, generation after generation, by making sure it was in the IRS Tax Code 643B. Well, if the Rockefellers can save taxes, why can't you and I save taxes? Now, the Spendthrift Trust has 5 very special elements that every trust must have. It's irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor, Spendthrift Trust. Quick definitions for that. Irrevocable. It goes from generation to generation. Complex. It can hold money from day to day, week to week, year to year, decade to decade, century to century. Discretionary. Whoever is the trustee can make the rules for the beneficiaries. Non-grantor. This makes the trust 100% private. When you start the trust, you're going to have somebody who is not a trustee or a beneficiary sign up to be the settler, the person who starts the trust, and the beneficiary for 5 minutes. Then they will sign themselves away. This is not a speed bump. If you can't find someone to do this, either myself or somebody from the law firm will do it free of charge for you. And then the 5th element is spendthrift. This has been in front of the United States Supreme Court on 2 different occasions. Both times the Supreme Court has honored the Spendthrift Trust. This is as legal can be. I'm inviting you to set up a 30-minute tax breakthrough session with me to see how much money you could be saving if you are a U.S. business owner, a U.S. 1099 income earner. You will save federal income taxes, at least 90% year after year. And if you're living in one of 43 states with state income taxes or personal taxes, you can save those taxes too if you get everything into the trust. If you are a U.S. investor, you will no longer pay short-term or long-term capital gains, interest income, dividend income, rental income, and royalties. This is a very specialized trust. One's a business trust for U.S. business owners and 1099 income earners, and the beneficial trust is for any and all U.S. investors. I have people who are crypto investors, real estate investors, day traders, people who are doing commodities trading, people who have NFT artists. I have 2 actors, an actress. If you have intellectual property, if you're in the stock market, you could be saving so much money. Now, quick history about myself. I personally started real estate investing in late 2018. In 2019, still working full-time as a Medicare broker, I wholesaled 7 properties. Woohoo! Yay, Sally! I paid off all my debt, and I was a rock star. Then my CPA called me. I owed the federal government $79,000 in short-term capital gains. I had to take out a HELOC onto my house. I'm sorry, I don't bring anybody live on these shows. I go live on Monday night. You can come to my Zoom Monday night, 8 p.m. East Coast time. So I had to take a HELOC out of my house to pay for those capital gains. Silly Sally forgot about capital gains. I found out I started researching the Spendthrift Trust. It took me 5 months. In September of 2000, I started both my business and beneficial trust and started teaching in my mastermind in my real estate group. first female mastermind teacher. Woohoo! Yay, Sally. I'm very proud of that fact. So I started teaching other real estate investors how they could save capital gains, interest income, and rental income taxes. Now, if you have either business trust or the beneficial trust, it's going to save you in 4 very important ways. Number 1, the federal taxes I told you about, year after year, generation after generation. Number 2, keep your information private. There's a false rumor that your LLC or your S Corp does this. Ha ha ha. I can go out to the Secretary of State website or Corporation Commission website for your state and research your LLC. There's a reason why 40% of all LLCs get sued every year. Your information's not private. Number 3, talking about lawsuits. The famous adage from Nelson Rockefeller, own nothing, control everything. If you get everything into the trust, they can't sue the trust, and if they try to sue me individually, I'm worth nothing. It's a frivolous lawsuit and goes away. And number 4, if you're not aware of the 2024 Corporate Transparency Act from the Treasury Department, the trust shields you from having to do that paperwork. I just had a new client start last week who had 44 LLCs. He had 44 properties, 1 property in each LLC. I just saved him a huge headache. He doesn't have to do do the paperwork 44 times for the Treasury Department. If you're not aware of the 2024 Corporate Transparency Act, please research it. If you don't do the paperwork by January 1st of 2025, you could be fined $10,000 and or 2 years in jail. Don't forget about it. So again, with the business trust, it's going to save you at least 90% on your federal income taxes every single year. Just to give you an idea, I just helped a husband and wife in Texas. We lowered their taxes from 32% down to 12%, and then we took his insurance business out of their personal 1040 tax returns and put it under an EIN number. And he's going to file 1041 for his insurance company and save 90% on all of his income. So in 1 year, we are going to save the husband and wife $161,760 in both in federal taxes. Texas does not have state income taxes. The wife is the one who called me. She wants to quit her W-2 job and stay at home with her 3 kids. I think she has a case for that. Now, if that's a business trust. If you're a mechanic, if you have a franchise, if you have an Amazon store, an Etsy store, if you're making at least $80,000 gross income, you will be saving about $13,000 a year without including state income taxes. Year after year after year after year, generation after generation. Now with the beneficial trust, it's going to save you short-term capital gains, which are between 10% to 37%, depending on your tax bracket. So if you do tax liens, if you wholesale, if you fix and flip, if you have crypto and you buy and sell it every day, that you're going to save money there. Long-term capital gains are either 15% or 20%. I helped the gentleman who was selling a 42-year-old family restaurant save at least 15%, $460,000, and at 20%, $600,000 in long-term capital gains. He was 69 years old. That's a lot of money for his retirement. Interest income taxes. This is for anyone who's a passive investor. They might be in a REIT. If you're doing creative financing, seller financing, if you're doing the BRRRR strategy, if you're doing subject to, or if you have notes like I do, or if you're a forex investor. Forex investors, sorry to tell you this, you get taxed twice. Capital gains and interest income taxes. The Spendthrift Trust will save you all that. I just won a tax lien for less than $5,000, and I'm going to do seller financing on this house. $20,000 down, $1,500 a month. In the 2 years that I'm going to do this, the Spendthrift Trust is going to save me over $56,000 in interest income taxes. What will I do with that money? I'll reinvest it and buy more. Get more real estate. Dividend income taxes. If you're in the stock market, if you're a day trader, if you're doing commodities trading, or if you're doing futures trading, you're going to save the taxes between 10% to 37% depending on your tax bracket. If you're an options trader, listen up. You get taxed 40% on your profits for a year or less and 60% on your taxes for a year or more. The Spendthrift Trust will save that. Rental income taxes. Yes, you can take depreciation. Yes, you can do cost averaging, but a lot of rental people do not do this. One